everybody. Your favorite uncle here. Thank you for joining me again today. Yesterday, we broke down some of the actions that we can start thinking about taking as we look to the future and try to figure out ways to help protect our democracy and preserve the way we'd like to live. And I really do appreciate you joining me on this. Recording myself like this, putting these videos out is not my comfort zone, but it's time for all of us, whether we are comfortable with it or not, to stand up and resist. We are watching our democracy being taken apart, bottom up and top down. It's crazy. Generally, when we think about democracies and we think about the impact we can have, a lot of us like to think about it from the big picture. Like, what can the Supreme Court or Congress or the White House do? What's the impact that they have? And we're watching some of that right now, some of the madness there. But I'm going to tell you a secret. The real action is happening in your backyard. Now, you see this? This is where our democracy lives and breathes, right here. This is your local newspaper, or your city council, or your library board, or your school board. Those are the muscles and bones that make our democracy work. And just like your body, if you don't take care of those parts, the whole thing starts to break down. I mean, for example, let me tell you about what happened in Llano County, Texas back in 2021 and 2022. The county commissioners and newly appointed library board started removing the books they didn't like from the library system. For a while, they temporarily took the books off the shelves, and then for a bit, they even shut down the library system entirely. They thought nobody would push back. But guess what? The local residents didn't just sit there. They formed a group called the Llano County Library System Supporters. They filed a federal lawsuit, and in March of 2023, a federal judge ordered those books put back on the shelves. Why? Because the people showed up, they spoke up, and they stood up for their library. They're still watching and protecting their libraries today. That group didn't vanish overnight. And get this, that case made so much noise that libraries across the country learned from it, and they got better at protecting themselves. So today we're going to talk about practical ways to be democracy's bodyguard right where you live. Trust me, it's easier than you think. It's just got a few moving parts. First up, your local newspaper. Again, have a subscription. They need the money in order to stay alive. I know, everyone's on their phones. You get your news on your phone, you get all your updates on your phones these days. But the thing is, who else is going to sit through the 6-hour city council meetings if not for your local reporters? Who's going to dig into the town budget? Subscribe to your local paper, folks. It's like paying for a watchdog that works 24/7. Second, show up. It's really that simple. Just show up. The meetings I'm talking about with the council and the school board and the library board, most of the time, those meetings are empty. I'm talking ghost town empty. And let me tell you something wild. A lot of decisions get made simply because nobody's there to ask questions. Your presence alone makes a difference. It's like turning the lights on. Everything gets a little more transparent. And here's something you might not know. Most of these institutions have to announce their meetings publicly. They have to take minutes. They have to allow the public comment. These aren't just nice ideas, they're legal requirements, but they only matter if we use them. And for far too long now, it seems like only the crazies who out there who are trying to limit our expression, who are trying to limit what we have access to, trying to control what we can read, what we can talk about, those are the ones who are showing up. Now, let's get super practical. Here's your democracy protection toolkit for your local institutions. 1, map your local institutions. Your town probably has a council, a school board, a library board, a planning commission, parks department, etc. You want to know who is who. It's like knowing where all the exits are in a building. 2, you need to sign up for notifications. Most of the bodies have some kind of email list or social media. Sign up for everything. Knowledge is your early warning system. 3, make friends. Get to know your community, especially get to know your local officials. Who are the librarians? Who are the school administrators? When things are normal, you want to get to know these people. You don't want to just wait for a crisis before you introduce yourself. 4, volunteer. These institutions often need help. Be that help. There's no better way to protect from somebody than from inside. Now, here's something clever. Start a weekly democracy check-in with your neighbors. Take turns attending meetings, share notes. One person can't go to everything, but five people, now you're cooking. And as we talked about in the last episode, meet your neighbors, form a community. It's really hard for anybody to fight when the community able stands together. Now listen, this isn't just about politics. It's about making sure our institutions stay strong and independent, no matter who's in charge. When someone tries to mess with your local institutions, they're not just changing policies, they're changing the rules of the game itself. Now, here's your homework for tomorrow, and I promise it's simple. Find the website or social media page of one local institution, just one. Follow them, sign up for the notifications, mark their next meeting on your calendar, and get over there. Go to that next meeting. I mean, these are baby steps, but baby steps matter. Now, here's today's thought to ponder. A democracy is only as strong as its smallest part. Ask yourself, do you know who makes the decisions about your local library, your parks, your schools? And if not, that's okay. But now you know where to start and what you need to figure out. Okay, until tomorrow, this is your favorite uncle reminding you that the best time to start paying attention is right now. Remember, democracy isn't a spectator sport. Love you all.